Hello fellow soul, Philip coming to you with a spiritual revolution, the revolution of learning and your own self-education, where I bring strategies, tips, techniques, understandings, insights from my own life's journey and my own working life as an educator for you to see how they may help you. A spiritual revolution is holistic living, which means that you're taking care of your body, your mind, your heart and your soul and your whole consciousness. And it recognizes that although we can think of our body as separate and our mind as separate, they're actually all working together. So to have a healthy life and to have well-being and wellness in your life, you need to take care of mind, body and soul. And one of the things which most causes human beings trouble and problems and negative energy is we think it's out there, we think it's the people doing bad stuff out there, and we think it's the bad luck that we get or the situation that went wrong or the unfairness of it all. And we always, and this is because of our education, our school system, which doesn't teach us to go within, it teaches us to look outside of ourselves all the time. So we tend to blame everything out there for our own ills and troubles and unhappiness or our loneliness. Now I've got a bit of a noise going on because we have a tea shop and a bird has now flown into the tea shop and can't find its way out. It's been in a shock, it's trying to come out, so I'll ignore that, I can't do anything about it. I want to read you a story, one of my favourite stories in one of my favourite teaching resource books. It's a parable, and this gives an insight into perspective, and that it's not necessarily people out there that's causing us our problems, it's our own perspective. See what you think. It's a lovely story. Once upon a time, an old man sat by the side of the road, smoking his pipe and gazing off into the distance, contemplating who knows what. Along came a stranger who stopped to pass the time of day, putting down his bundle and taking out a ham sandwich and a bottle of wine, which he forgot to share with the old man. In the course of the conversation, the stranger pointed to the village nestled in the valley below and asked, "What are the people like in the town down there? I'm just moving to that village, you know." The old man puffed a pipe. The old man puffed a puff on his pipe and threw the question back. "What were they like in the town where you used to live, my friend?" A thundercloud seemed to pass over the stranger's face. Oh, they were rogues and rascals of the worst sort. Liars, cheats, a pack of knaves they were. Never could get a kind word out of any of them. Smoke billowed from the old man's pipe as he shook his head and spoke. "Well then, that's what the people are like in that village down there, my son." The stranger heaved himself to his feet and walked sadly down the hill. The old man leaned back against the tree for his afternoon siesta. Later, when he woke, he saw another stranger approaching. The newcomer smiled and asked if he could share the shade of the old stately tree. The old man shifted over to make room for him and gratefully accepted the stranger's offer of an apple and some cheese. As they chatted, the stranger pointed to the hamlet in the valley. "What are the people like in that village?" he asked. "I'm thinking of moving there soon." A twinkle, unobserved, appeared in the old man's eye as once again he parried the question. "What were they like where you have just come from, my son?" The stranger's face lit up. "Oh, they're wonderful people, the salt of the earth. Not a harsh word nor a dishonest act have I heard of these many years. I only wish I could stay, but it is time for me to move on." The old man hid his pleasure by lighting his pipe as he responded, "Well, I'm glad to say that that is exactly how you'll find those people in the village below." Great parable. What does it mean to you? Is there a moral to the story? If you want to reflect upon it for a minute or two, just press pause on the video because I'm going to just give one or two thoughts that I have. I love this parable, and I used to give it to my teacher students when we were investigating our own teaching practice in the classroom. And the key premise behind my course was, let's stop assuming what's going on in our classroom and what's happening with our students, and conduct action research to actually find out. And what this parable, what this story reveals, is that there's a town down, a small village or a town at the bottom of the valley, and there is the town with the people. Now, the wise old man told one person that they're rascals and terrible people in this village, and he told another person that they were wonderful people in this village. So how can this village be full of wonderful people, but how can the same village be full of rascal, terrible people? I think we know the answer. It's not so much the people, it's the perspective that you or I will have towards those people. So there's so much to say on this, but I think it's a key lesson and key learning in life that the world out there, okay, it is out there, I accept that it's out there, but for you or me, or let's just concentrate on you for the moment, the world out there for you is actually inside you, because your eyes and your ears in the main and the other sensory organs, they pick up what's going on in the world around you, and then it comes into your mind for processing, and your mind is inside your body. So the world out there is actually inside you, and how the world looks depends on the interpretation and the discernment of what you're seeing or listening to or noticing. So the world out there is not actually the world out there. The world out there is a combination of the world out there and your perspective of it. And in this way, you and the world out there are not separate. You are interconnected and intertwined. Yes, there's you, and yes, there's the world out there, but whatever you put your attention onto, that comes into your mind for processing, and that is your world. So to finish off with a question for you. So there was the man who came along the first time, who tended to see people as all rascals and terrible people, and then another man came along and he tended to see other people as great people, as good people, wonderful people, salt of the earth. How much of each of those perspectives, relatively speaking, are in you? Do you tend to see people as salt of the earth and good people, or do you tend more to see them as bad people? And how can you change your perspective? I'll leave that with you. If you'd like to engage in any communications with me, drop a comment in below, and I'll get back to you. Till the next time, bye bye.